You're watching episode number 24 of the Emotional Freedom Podcast. And in this episode, I want to explore something that I call as the traffic light of life. Stay tuned. Now, one of the most recognizable things on the road or any roadside is the traffic light. I think even kindergarten children, they know what the traffic light is and what the color of the light symbolizes. You have got red, which is to stop, amber, or some people call it orange, which is to prepare to stop. Although some people will be like speeding even more, which is wrong, of course, don't do that. And also green, which is to go forward. And as a road user, there's something that we have taken for granted because we see it so often, we see it all the time. Now, what I would like to do today is to share with you the concept of taking the traffic light, which is the traffic, and I want to use it in our daily life, especially our emotions, and how we can use it so that we can gain emotional freedom, emotional mastery. You see, when it comes to the red light, there are a lot of times whereby in our life, there are red lights. Now, red light means that we have to stop. So, for example, you may be going through some form of frustration. Could be at your workplace, suddenly things just not going so well. Or maybe between you and your partner, suddenly the communication breaks down somewhere. And the red light simply means that at the moment, it might not be the right time to take action. It might not be the right time for you to do something. But it doesn't mean you should give up. Have you ever seen a road user, maybe a driver, reach the red light, and what the driver did was to get out from the car and left the car there, which is to abandon the car? No, why? Because after the red, it will change color. You see, sometimes in our life, sometimes in our relationship with people, sometimes when we are doing things, well, it's just that. It's just that the light is red and it is not ready for us to take any action. Timing is very, very important. You might have a very important thing to say, and it might indeed be a very big thing that could impact the other person. But if the other person is not ready to listen to you, or the other person is just not ready to take that information, trying to shove it down the person's throat, or in this case the ears, will not be useful. In fact, it may actually have an adverse effect when the person may just want to be rebellious and may not want to participate or cooperate with you. So when it comes to the red light of life, it just means that it's time for you to take a breather. It is time for you to not just slow down, but maybe to put a pause, momentary pause, temporary pause, not to give up. So from the red light, we know that it jumps to the green. And green is when you can, take action and you can start to do things. You see, the thing with green light here is that if you were on the road, in the moment you see the green light, sometimes, right, some cars, some drivers, they just like to go full pedal. And there is a danger in that because if you press the pedal, if you really go all out full speed because you see the green light, well, there is a danger whereby sometimes unexpected things could happen. Could be a dog or cat ran across the road, or it could be a car just suddenly swerved out. See, the thing with green light is that when things are moving, people let their guards down. And when people let their guards down, that is when they get careless, and that's when accidents can happen. So when it comes to the green light, it means that you can proceed. But I think it's also very important is to proceed with caution, is to proceed carefully and not to let your guards totally down. So it's good to be in the green light because you don't have to stop, you don't have to think too much, you just have to go with the flow, so-called. Yeah, and a lot of people enjoy it, and I don't doubt why they would enjoy it because I love the green light as well. When it comes to life, that means that whatever you want to do is just go smoothly. The plans that you have set, it just goes smoothly. So the green light is good, but remember this: when it's the green light, you need to also practice restraint. Just because your partner and you have a good conversation, have a good relationship, it doesn't mean that you can say anything and everything which could potentially hurt the other person's feelings. And that's what I mean by to be careful when the light is green. You don't know what could spring up and cause a surprise. And from the green light, you know that eventually things will go into the amber light or the orange light. And that is a sign that is for us to begin to prepare for the moment when it turns red. Now, the amber light is like a warning light, isn't it? It is a warning light to tell us like, look, all right, you have done so much. You have really pushed yourself hard enough. And if you continue doing it, pretty soon it may be the red light, which actually means like it could be a burnout, or it could be things whereby it is time for you to stop. Not maybe is stopping not because you want to, but stopping because you don't want to. But there is no choice. In a relationship, it could be when things just started to get heated, or when things like, for example, there's arguments starting in or differences of opinion. Now, all those little things can just come in and affect any relationship. Now, when it comes to health, right? So, for example, you could have taken 2 or 3 all-nighter just to finish your important work from the workplace. But that is when your traffic light or your health light has turned amber. It is to tell you, look, before it really goes into the red, you should actually do something so that it can be gradual and you don't have to like jam your brakes, like what we see some drivers do. So what stage of the traffic light in your life are you at right now? Is it a red where things are stopping, not moving, and you feel frustrated? Is it a green where things are so smooth, so much so that you begin to take action and you flow with it sometimes without thinking of the consequences? Or is it the amber light where they are giving you a signal already? And are you paying attention to those signals? Because you need to pay attention to that so that you don't get caught off guard. So these 3 lights in the traffic light, when it is used in our daily life, it can give us a lot of indicators. It can give us a lot of preparation as well as ideas about what to do with our own life. Now, one last thing before I finish today's podcast, and that is, no matter where you are right now on this traffic light of life, just know that the light will change. And the light can change, and it will change. Just because it is red light doesn't mean you have to give up, because when you continue at it, when you change your approach, it will turn green. And just because things are moving smoothly and everything seems to be flowing, don't be overly complacent about it, because you know what? It will turn orange. It will turn amber. And when it comes to amber, pay attention to those warnings that it's trying to tell you, so that the red light, you can approach it gradually and gracefully before it turns green again. So I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Have a wonderful day ahead. I'll see you tomorrow.